makers of fine pharmaceutical products, presents Broken Arrow.
The Hatchet Mountains are a small, rugged range that lie near the southwest border of the lands of the Chiricahua. I was on a project I'd had in mind for a long time, mapping a new route for the wagon trains we expected in great numbers, now that the peace with the Indians had been settled.
For family fun, there's nothing like gathering around the good old fireplace. And you want to feel up to the fun that's so good for you. But take a look at Mom. She just doesn't feel good enough to have any fun. Whenever that all-in, all-over feeling from a headache, upset stomach, or general achiness keeps you from having fun, take Alka-Seltzer, the medicine that's so refreshing. Action in the glass changes Alka-Seltzer tablets into a relief-giving liquid. This is the form your system can use most easily and naturally. Action in the glass supercharges Alka-Seltzer with lively bubbles. This soothing liquid speeds relief. Action in the glass makes Alka-Seltzer easy to absorb immediately. For refreshing relief, you'll like Alka-Seltzer. Feel up to the fun that's so good for you. When you need relief of headache, upset stomach, or general achiness, take Alka-Seltzer, the medicine that's so refreshing.
You must be thirsty too, huh? You don't mind if I go first, do you?
Drop your gun. You are one. We are many. We could have killed you by now if we'd wished. Drop your gun. Tie him.
What's a war party doing in Chiricahua territory?
Put him on his horse.
I am Chato. Sit. Eat.
There are no fires in the camp of Chato. Is it because Chato likes cold food or because he does not want Cochise to know he's here?
I will tell you why you were brought here. I want to make peace talk with Cochise. You will take this message to him.
Cochise is at peace with all Apaches, except those who make raids on Chiricahua territory. It is the soldiers whom Chato has made his enemies. Let Chato make peace with the soldiers.
For many moons, Chato and his braves have fought battles with the soldiers, here and in Mexico. All these battles he has won. Always he has made fools of them. Soldiers do not like to be made fools. Perhaps they would shoot Chato first and make peace talk later.
I'll take your message to the military. Then they'll make talk first.
When the time comes for peace talk with White Eyes, Cochise will speak for Chato. Then the White Eyes will listen.
Maybe you're right. But why not go to Cochise yourself? He'd honor a flag of truce.
Even more so in the hands of his brother Jeffers. The eyes of Geronimo are everywhere. Geronimo would not like to lose Chato as an ally.
I begin to understand.
You will take my message to Cochise. You will say that my heart is heavy with the loss of many warriors. You will say that Chato wearies of war and is ready to walk the path of peace.
I will tell Cochise.
It is good. I wait here for his answer.
It is good that the leaders of the Chiricahua have heard the message from Chato. Now let them speak.
It is clear that Chato has learned of the council that follows the new moon. His pride is hurt because Cochise did not invite him.
What council is this, Cochise?
Some leaders of small bands meet with me at Scar Mountain. They wish to talk of peace.
Chato is a vain man. He does not wish to seem to beg for peace. It would make him feel important to be invited.
Chato deals in treachery. It is a trick.
He only has 6 warriors with him.
The fox is dangerous not because of his strength, but because of his cunning.
When I studied the white man's law, I learned that a man is innocent until proven guilty. It's a good rule to follow.
Let me remind you of Chato's guilt. During the days when Cochise was talking the big peace, there were Apaches who stayed with him and upheld his law. And there were those who walked away with Geronimo. This one walked away.
There were many who walked away, and of them many returned and lived up to my word.
Because they returned with their hearts. Chato's heart remains with Geronimo.
You cannot see into his heart. Men learn the ways of few are not as good as the ways of many.
I speak...
We lose nothing by listening to Chato. You will bring Chato and his braves here. He will ride with me to the council.
Then let us take away their guns when they arrive.
No. The gift of peace cannot be given with a closed mind or a closed hand.
I'll leave at once.
Tell the women of the tribe there will be many at the ceremony of the white painted lady. And let there be feasting to entertain our visitors.
Oh. Ganite.
Remember, if this proves to be a trap, you have baited that trap. Chato approaches, not with 6 warriors, but with more.
My scouts have told me.
Surely now you will disarm them before giving so many the freedom of the camp.
Has fear so possessed you, Towiga, that you are robbed of reason like a rabbit before a snake?
It is not Towiga who is robbed of reason. I still fear a trick.
A man fears a trick more than a wound because it injures his pride and takes longer to heal. They come! Welcome to the camp of Cochise.
It is good to be home once again.
It has been long since we have met.
The Apache way to rush any important event. First comes the feasting and the dancing. It had been a long time since Chato had been able to enjoy such a ceremony. I wondered if this was Cochise's way of driving home to Chato one of the advantages of peace.
Rising of the sun, we will ride to Scar Mountain and speak of those things that bring you here.
There are many things to say.
Your braves will stay here and let them know the Chiricahuas are their friends. Have them pick up their weapons.
Truly, it is a gesture of a great chief.
Cochise, how long will you be at the meeting at Scar Mountain?
6 nights, no longer. When I return, I will send word to you at the agency.
Cochise. Last night as I slept, I saw the Chiricahuas lulled into forgetfulness, feasting and dancing with Chato, while Geronimo prepares to attack.
Sometimes the fears of the day are reflected in the dreams at night.
It is well known that the spirits speak to us at night.
The spirit spoke to me long before now. They told me that friendship could not live without trust.
But Cochise...
If you are so fearful for our safety, leave the feasting and the games. Join the scouts who watch the passes in the distant mountains.
Do the men know what to do?
Have you not taught them yourself?
See that our plans are carried out.
Did you stop giving vitamins to your children when they refused them because of the oily taste? The need for vitamins never stops. You know the importance of vitamins, Mother. You know that shortage of vitamins is one of the common causes of a pepless, tired feeling, making your child less active and alert at play. So change over to One-A-Day brand multiple vitamin tablets, the pleasant way to give your children all the vitamins they normally need to take. Give your children One-A-Day brand multiple vitamins every day. You'll have no trouble getting them to take their vitamins with these small, easy-to-take tablets. One-A-Day multiples are low cost. Your best buy is the 250 tablet size in this new bottle. So attractive. Such a convenient way to take One-A-Day vitamins every day. Get the new reusable family-size bottle of one-a-day brand multiple vitamins at any drug counter.
The skill of the Braves of Cochise is great. In games such as these, perhaps. But what of his skill as a warrior? Huh? Now. Those men have the eyes of an eagle. The Braves of Cochise have grown soft in the days of peace. It is a Mexican knife. Yes. I took it from an important man, an Hidalgo, after I killed him.
You see the silver in the handle.
I have a saddle with the same fine silver work. Your knife is on enemies. See? Ah. This one is yours. Mine? Anyone could throw straight with such a knife. I would take many more such knives. In Mexico? In Mexico.
Mexico.
Oh. And we stay here, idle.
Well, Maltoni, supplies are a little low after all the feasting, huh?
The feasting and the games continue, and will continue until the return of Cochise from Scar Mountain.
Hasn't he returned yet? It's taking longer than he'd planned.
When wise men sit down to speak, who knows what they will say, or how long it will take them to say it.
Where'd you get this saddle?
It is mine.
Where did you get it?
One of Chato's warriors, Victorio, gave it to me.
And he gave me this. Look. Is it not a fine knife?
Certainly is. Why did Victorio give you these things?
He says he has many more.
Where does he get them?
In Mexico. Chato's warriors have taught us many things.
You boys ride on up to the camp. I'll ride up later.
Of the Apaches ran like lightning among them. Our guns spat fire. Our knives flashed in the sun. Chato, the wise and the bold, had given us another victory. Not a brave did we lose. But of the enemy, not one was left alive. Then their horses, their guns, their blankets were ours for the taking, more than we could carry. And the Apache women, they cried with happiness when they saw what we had done.
That is the life for an Apache.
Let us follow, Chato.
Yes, and make the Chiricahua women proud of us.
When did Cochise's braves begin again to make the smaller arrow for the killing of men? Why was not Cochise told of this?
Towiga will not be the one to tell him. 3 times has Cochise scorned my warnings.
Past, Chato, cannot be forgotten.
Can even Cochise look into his heart and not find one act for which he does not feel shame?
No man can say this.
That which cannot be forgotten, and for good reason, surely then can be forgiven. When I was a warrior, I acted as I thought a warrior should act. But as season followed season, I grew to learn better.
This is wisdom. But what of Mexico? It is said the spoils from your raids have been great.
The spoils get bigger with each telling, but the memory of the dead warriors remains the same. Never again will I lead my braves into Mexico.
What brings you to Scar Mountain?
To tell you that Chato's warriors are firing up your braves with talk of war.
Is it anything so strange that young men will talk of war in the excitement of the hunt?
These are the arrows your braves are making, Cochise.
War arrows.
For the killing of men, not animals.
It is many moons since the Chiricahua have made war arrows. Is this the reason Chato wished to sit so long in council? To fill my ears with peace, while his warriors turn my men to the way of war?
It is not so.
Come, we will see.
Now, listen to wisdom. Listen to the drums speak Apache.
Your war paint speaks for your thoughts. I am proud of you. For many nights I have sat and listened to Cochise preach the ways of peace. His words were enough to fill a true Apache's heart with sickness. All Apaches are born to be warriors. How else are you going to be strong and rich without the spoils of war? Cochise will do what the White Eyes tell him to do. Is this the life for an Apache? No, it's not. Shadow chooses to live where he pleases, even beyond the farthest mountains, and in Mexico. Cochise chooses to make the Chiricahuas slaves to the White Eyes because he has grown like an old woman with no stomach for a fight. Let all those who would be men and Apaches follow me! Shadow! Shadow!
Chato's mouth is filled with words, like a noisy child's. He knows nothing of their meaning. Freedom to kill and steal. When a child learns that a life must not be needlessly taken, that he does not profit by stealing, then it is that a child becomes a true man and free. You may choose to follow any leader. But if it's a warrior chief you're seeking, remember this. For 10 years, I led you and your fathers in battle. I was never defeated. Not by all the soldiers the whites could throw against me. This Chato that calls himself a warrior, who calls me an old woman, Does he come here like a warrior to fight me? Or does he come here like a mangy dog to turn you away from me by treachery? He says he is a man. I have never turned my back on a man. I turn my back on Chatto. Your leader. Take him with you. Let us never see your faces here again. Come in. You are right. I was wrong. My people have much to forget.
You haven't forgotten how to make these.
Search the camp. Destroy all of these.
And now a word from General Electric. Frozen shirts, harsh, rough diapers, blouses whipped by the wind. Never again. Now you can have perfect drying conditions anytime, automatically, in a new kind of dryer. The 1957 General Electric dryer with automatic control. The new dryer that automatically dries anything you wash just right. Simply set a single dial, as you would on your iron. Here for delicate fabrics, here for normal, here for heavy fabrics. The GE automatic control adjusts to the perfect temperature and turns off just when your clothes are dry. No guesswork. Watch it in slow motion. This typical size family load dries gently in as little as 35 minutes. Synthetics in as little as 8 minutes. Everything dries much softer in the new high-speed dryer that automatically dries anything you wash just right, the 1957 General Electric dryer. See it with matching GE filter flow washer at your General Electric dealers. Broken Arrow has been brought to you by Miles Laboratories for better health.
I gave my love a chicken, it had no bone. Chicken.
You might call Brooke Shields a teen angel, or Venus in blue jeans, or just a beautiful baby. Brooke has established herself as an actress and sex symbol at an age when most girls are still just girls. And she has taken some dramatic risks, sanctioned by her mother, Terri, on the road to stardom. They're upstairs tonight, talking about all of it. So stay with us, upstairs at the Xenon.
Because I don't find rhythm in it. No. I like music with tremendous rhythm.
I find it a bit hard to find the rhythm. I don't hear the music yet. Yeah. Slowly. I think I'm more old-fashioned.
Well, yeah.
You're more old-fashioned than your mother?
Country music, yeah.
I like the way the people dress.
Oh, it's great.
And I think it's a whole, the whole new thing. Because there's a lot of beautiful, actually, sounds outside of what I think, when you say there's no beat to it.
But there's really.
In fact, there's Blondie herself. I mean, she's pretty.
She's a beautiful woman.
She's
so
new wave. I mean, she's, I think, one of the first people that did come out with songs that were
I love it. There is a difference
representative.
between the new wave and the punk, whereas I prefer the new wave to the punk. The punk is not.
It's not even new wave anymore. Now it's DOR. If you say new wave, you're behind the times.
DOR is.
What's DOR?
I think it's like dance-orientated rhythms.
Sounds like something
That's what.
Billboard.
So, like, if you're really hip, you say DOR. You don't say new wave.
Wow, it used to be out of the times to say punk. Now I guess punk's really far behind.
Where it is. But a lot of those things just really don't last for very long.
No, they don't.
It's a phase usually.
Terri, how much involved in directing Brooke's career are you? Are you the agent and the manager?
Yes, yes. I'm not less and less becoming involved. It's that it's easier now because Brooke is growing up and she has more of an opinion, and it really makes it easier on me.
So you can get Brooke's reaction
Yes,
to
right. When
potential
before
scripts
it was a little bit harder because her aunt, who I worked very close with, we would decide most of the things for Brooke.
Aunt Lila.
Auntie
Lila.
Lila.
Very smart. Very smart woman.
Yes.
What do you? I really would like. You never told me the actual thing that led up to Brooke doing her first commercial when she was a little tiny child. What, 2 or 3 years old?
Oh well, actually, she never did commercials until Brooke thought she was 2 or 3. She first modeled for Ivory Soap when she was 11 months old, but it wasn't until she was around, I'd say 5 or so, where she had gotten her first commercial.
Did that have to do when she was 11 months old with literally the way she looked as a baby?
Yes, exactly. And she was well behaved, believe it or not. Well, actually,
what is this up the sleeve? Well behaved, believe it or not.
I can't remember. She had to, they wanted a child under a year old to know how to kiss. And it was just a coincidence that Brooke did know how to kiss. So that when she kissed her mother, right, that she would have to hand her mother the bar soap and kiss her mother.
Oh.
And, I mean, they had gone through so many kids.
Cute.
Well, the picture came out, it was ridiculous because of all the time and money spent. It was, I mean, I knew it was Brooke because, of course, it's my baby. But the Ivory Soap was there, it was beautiful, and the mother's face was gorgeous. But there was just a fat cheek and a shoulder of Brooke. And Scavullo had taken it.
See, even then she worked with the best photographists.
Started off.
Has Brooke's success been difficult for you, again, in that area of when people will project onto you things that have nothing to do with your motives and your reality? I remember and hearing conversations, not recently, but a few years ago when the Pretty Baby film first came out, where Brooke was playing the child in the House of Prostitution, right, at the turn of the century, that you were a stage mother, that you were living your life through Brooke, that you were exploiting her, you know the old ugly stuff.
Exactly.
How much did it hurt?
I don't think it hurt at all.
It didn't hurt you?
Not at all, no. I don't think it's hurt either of us. Fortunately, see, Brooke was sort of just introduced to the world at that time.
But prior to that,
prior to that, she'd been working 10 years. And we were familiar with, I mean, on a smaller scale, of other people not being so appreciative of Brooke, being jealous, in essence.
Isn't that at the root of a lot of it? I mean, when you feel the negative
mainly,
stuff coming in.
Yes. And as Brooke mentioned a while back, too, that the bad mail that she gets, Lila and I screen all the mail, that the bad mail she gets, I especially want to attend to that because I know that the people who are writing, the kids, either they want attention, they figure there's, without even knowing it themselves, there's a way of getting Brooke's attention. And I immediately get in touch with them, and invariably they're just so, they're turned around totally. In fact, I was on a talk show with Brooke, and there were 1,800 women putting us down, really.
Sounds like they filmed Donahue show. One other show.
Got it. There were 1,800 women, but not all of them were putting us down. But there were a few women who, in the audience, openly put me down in particular, and after the show, couldn't wait to get to me to find out what to do with their daughter. How do I go about it?
And I asked my mom for her autograph and everything.
What do you think? Did that make you angry, though, when you find that someone's projecting something on your mother which has nothing to do with the way she's been a mom, and it's just their you know, their bad thinking?
You think about it for a minute that you might be angry, but I have to think above it.
To evaluate their mentality.
What are they really going through? They must be upset. And, you know, my mom said, evaluate their mentality. Think about where they are, you know, and just be above it. Know that they must know somewhere that what they're saying.
Do you, Sheila, Terri, excuse me, do you think that, I don't know why I called you Sheila. Has anyone ever called you Sheila before?
It came out funny.
Do you think that people really wanted to think that Brooke was not having a childhood?
Oh, of course. It would have been much easier. For instance, I've always brought this, and I have nothing against a dental assistant, but I always use that because that was the first thing that came to my mind when I will say, you know, it's interesting, if I were bringing Brooke up by myself, say, I want to do the best for her, and I think all parents want to do the best for their children, and they do what they feel is the best. And Brooke being as pretty as she is, that seemed to work for us, and she was happy doing with what she was doing, and I promoted it. If I wanted Brooke to be a dental assistant, and I promoted that, no one would say a word.
Or a doctor, or a dentist, or anything, sure.
Right, or anything.
It's the showbiz aspect of it. You
yes.
know?
And there's just as much, I don't feel my mom's pushing me, but there's a push to make your kid become a doctor or anything.
Yeah. And you want to inspire your children.
Terri, I'm very curious. You know, I have a daughter myself, and I raised her until recently all alone, and I can understand all the problems.
She's 14.
She's 14, and I wanted to know what got you to the first step of having Brooke model at 11 months.
Well, she was a very beautiful baby. I mean, and I think that is really the answer, but it's not a general answer because there were no babies as beautiful as Brooke.
What made you decide? You know, were you alone? Were you divorced at that point?
Yes. I had gotten a phone call from Scavula saying that they had 17 screaming babies there, and
they needed one who could kiss.
They needed one who could kiss.
And then from then on, what made you pursue it, and how?
Well, then what you do is you hopefully you go to an agency, a reputable agency, and they either turn you down or they don't. And there's a lot of legwork involved.
So did you just like that? It's a good question.
I
just thought it was good for me. It was fun.
Well, yes, because fortunately Brooke was at an age, naturally, she couldn't talk back. She couldn't say, I don't want to do it.
Yeah. From one time.
Now you should hear me.
What do you talk back about now, Brooke?
What I'm going to wear that day.
Oh, so it's not the heavyweight philosophical stuff.
No, she's very easy.
Terri, how do you explain Brooke's uncanny ability to project herself as being older? Not just the way she looks, but also the way her ideas, the things she thinks about, her values, the way she deals with people, her maturity. The thing that impressed me from the first day that I met you two, when Brooke was 10 and very, very cute, and like just a miniature of yourself. Now you're beautiful. No, you were beautiful then, but it's just you're a miniature version of the same thing.
I'm Jane.
It's wonderful.
Get taller.
You know what I'm saying? Why is she able to do that? That's what makes Brooke Shields Brooke Shields. The fact that she looks older, she seems older. She, at age 10, was like a little woman.
You know what I really believe? I think when we're born, our characteristics are there, and whether we know it or not, they have to be developed. I think basically Brooke is a very serious-minded person.
No, I think that comes through.
And I think that's where, in her seriousness, very often appears that she's more mature than she is, when she's not really, especially at the age of 10. I think she was serious then, as she was when she was 6, perhaps, but we didn't know it because at 6 you don't think of a child being serious, or pretty much not.
Do you talk about everything as mother and daughter?
Yeah, all the time.
Everything, yes.
But that's really a key to the success of your relationship, I think. I mean, particularly when you've gone through the Brooks being in the position of doing the intimate scenes, the sexy scenes in films. A lot of people are embarrassed even to have a conversation with their own mother or father about something like this. So here you're a mother and daughter who are able to be so open about it that it goes on the screen, and yet that openness is never celebrated. The thing that is criticized is, in fact, that you were exploiting Brooke, that she's too young. So how do you deal with the whole range of thinking that Brooke Shields is the first of a whole bunch of baby models who are selling things through their sexuality and they're only 10, 12, 11 years old? How do you defend that?
Well, first of all, I really don't feel I should defend it.
Well, if someone attacks you or criticizes you, that's what I mean.
Because I hope to continue on with Brooke, and she feels willing also. I just think it has to be channeled in the right way. I think the exploitations, so to speak, that we all have read and heard about or talk about, I think people get off on a young girl looking more mature in commercials for one particular reason. And I think that reason is that not only can they see total innocence, which is definitely there, and two, they have the sexy child too. They have the sexy person that appeals to them.
Sure, and it's a forbidden fruit.
Yes, and yet it's all wrapped up in one, and that is really appetizing.
Well, listen, if I say, and this has happened to me, and I say, you know, I really like Brooke Shields. I'm like, you know I like you, and we're friends, and I like you, and it's wonderful. And somebody will say, you can get arrested for that, and I hate that. And I say, what are you talking about?
It's what they're
I'm a friend,
thinking of,
you know?
right.
It's what they're thinking of, and that's what I keep coming back. It's like in the film, Peter Sellers' film Being There, where Chance is a simple-minded gardener, and it's the thinking of other people that's projected on him that gives him the characteristics that they like. In this case, it's either that they like or they don't like.
Everybody's always reading into something.
You know, as bad as a lot of people want to make us out to be, I think we're doing a great thing for the teenagers out there, especially. Brooke showing an example as to what she's really like through people like you both, having her on the show, through the fan mail, which is, to me, one of the most important factors in her career. Getting through to the people that way. Getting letters from hundreds and hundreds of people saying that for 6 years they've been writing celebrities and never gotten as much as a postcard. And Brooke right now, being the age she is it's probably going to be a little bit more tough for her now, because she is setting an example for the teenagers out there who want to fashion themselves after her. And I think she's going to do an excellent job. And
I've got a good chance to
by being 15.